Welcome to our 47th annual Ikebana International Exhibition. The theme for this year is Ikebana Seascapes, held at Selby Gardens, February 21 and 22, 2015. What you're looking at right now is our Shogun helmet, the ceremonial Shogun helmet, which represents our activities for the Japanese cultural event.
Is that real?
Well, there's certainly some
I don't know if it's Ikebana or whatever.
How many orchids? Gorgeous.
It's gorgeous.
Oh, butterfly.
Good for you guys?
Yeah.
Could have had a little more material in there, but sometimes less is more. And that's just very simple. Seed grapes, white roses and sparklets. You can have a little bit more, but you want to cover the cans in, just a little bit extra. So then have your lines, your triangle, you can see all the triangles in there. Very simple.
I, of course, am a member of Ikebana International, and right now I'm the president but not too much longer, just till April. And of course, we have our annual exhibition here, and we do meet at Selby Gardens once a month. And our meetings are open to the public. We just charge a little fee of, what is it, $5? $5. And so on. So if you would like to come to one of our meetings, our next meeting is on Monday, March 11th. All right, the first one that I'm going to do, and this is Moribana, and Moribana is a round flat base here and so on. And what I have done, and he was just teasing me about this, I got clothesline, but it's colorful, it's blue, and I wanted it black. So I sat there one day in watching TV, and I took tape, electrical tape, and I wrapped it all around, and that's how I got this to be black here, because I wanted the black one and so on. Also, what I have inside here is what we call a Kenzan. We have very few of these left, but these are great. You can also buy them at Michael's, but they're not the same quality as far as like the ones we got. Has a good weight. It translates to, and I love this, Sword Mountain. So, and it's very pricky. And one of the things that we always tell students when they're first starting Ikebana, make sure that you get your tetanus shot that's up to date. So I am going to actually do a basic style. I'm going to use this as part of a Kenzan too to wrap things around. And so what I'm going to do, flower in there. I'm going to measure, and how you measure is 1 and 2 in the height. Whew. I managed to do that. That's all right. And we also cut underwater. The reason you cut underwater is because, what is he doing? He always does this to me. he always does this to me, so that's okay. We're a comical team. We've known each other for a long time. He is one of my prize students here. He has studied for, what, 4 or 5 years now? 10 or 12, yeah. He's been studying longer than that, and so on. And he also is a sensei. When you become a sensei in the Sugetsu school, you get to pick a flower name. And your flower name is a legal name. You can buy a house, get divorced, get married, and so on in Japan. Mine is Mite. I got Te, which is garden, from my teacher in Japan, who's gotten it from her. And Mite, I am spring garden. And he actually is Hote. And his is boundless garden. So I am putting this in the Kenzan. Aha, I heard the click. So I have that, and that is my first one. And we're talking about the levels, and that's called Shin, Soi, Hakai. We're talking about 3. Shin is always your strongest one. Every artist has it, and then what we would translate it to as a focal point. So it is our main thing. When we do arrangements, you know, you're always asked, which is your shin, which is your strongest one. Then we're going to go here.
Here in Florida. The school that I study is the O'Hara School. In the field of Ikebana, there are hundreds of schools. It was begun 600 years ago by the Buddhist monks. It actually is a Chinese. The art form was begun in China by the Buddhist monks, and it migrated to Japan. They would make an arrangement for the altar using 3 flowers, and from there things have mushroomed into a wonderful thing that we just all love and enjoy. The 3 items usually form an asymmetrically balanced scaling triangle, and this is almost a minimalist art. You can use as few as 2 items, a subject and an object, and make a simple, pretty arrangement. Or you can go on and use many more stems and pieces of foliage.
Just bring this guy.
The O'Hara School was actually begun by Unshin O'Hara in the late 1800s, and it became an established school in 1912. He wanted to be a sculptor. He was a real artist, but because of poor health, he was not able to become a sculptor, and fortunately for us, became a floral designer in Ikebana. And up to that point, all Ikebana had been done in an upright form. But Unshin O'Hara walked the fields and the valleys and the mountains of Japan observing nature, and he wanted to do his arranging in a horizontal form, in a plane, rather than everything be vertical. So he introduced a new container called the Moribana, which is a low, flat container. This is a sodeshi just because of the shape and the style, but it is a Moribana type container, as opposed to being a Nagaeri tall container. So with his observance of nature, he was able to develop the Moribana arrangement, and including the landscape arrangement, which is what we're going to start with here. These wonderful rocks actually belong to my first Ikebana sensei, which means teacher. She and her husband enjoy bonsai, and she is very generous to let me come and cut materials from her yard and share with me her treasures. Now, one of the things that we do in all of Ikebana is we learn to trim so that we're able to show the effect of what we are demonstrating. This is part of a branch of a tree in my neighborhood, and I want to use this to be a lone tree growing in a rocky cliff beside the ocean. So I started with this, and I got out my scissors, and what I wound up with was this. So I have taken the branch down and to scale, and the wind is so strong coming in off the ocean that it has blown my tree. So it is leaning.
Like seashells to kind of camouflage the mechanic too. So you can be pretty creative. I've seen people use, crushed glass shards, those pebbles, the glass pebbles, all sorts of different things. And also this lavender is kind of pulling the pink too from the flowers, so that helps. Okay, so Shin, Soy, Ikai, Heaven, Man, Earth. We have all of our triangles going on. We've filled in the bottom. There's room for the butterflies. All that's left is to set it out and enjoy the arrangement.